What is going on, everyone? It's Ultimate Spy 53 here, and welcome to another episode of Reviewed. Review number 94, and today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Oblivion. So this movie was interesting, but it was just confusing. It didn't really make sense to me. It was interesting because it was in the future, and it was like a post-apocalyptic movie. And that was what the idea was. It's a science fiction post-apocalyptic future. Basically, a Dead Dragon's War, and you have Tom Cruise plays this character Jack Harper. He basically like this drone repair guy, and he lives above the sky. Um, and he lives with this British partner, which I feel like was actually the wife. That was the part about the movie that I didn't like at all, was the fact that it just didn't make any sense. Like, he has two wives now. Like the wife he has is the beautiful British woman who lives with him in like the Sky House or whatever it was, and then you have later on you find this other woman who's turns out to actually be his wife. So it's just a weird movie. I didn't really understand the plot. That was one thing I will say about this movie. Didn't have a very good plot. I mean, it's interesting because the movie itself it's called Oblivion. Now, not to be confused with the Elder Scrolls game Oblivion, but it's called Oblivion because it's, I don't know, it didn't really say what it was named like that. But yeah, Tom Cruise he's in this movie along with Morgan Freeman, and that's the only actors that were there that I recognized. But yeah, I liked it. It wasn't my favorite of Tom Cruise's movies. Definitely not. It was. I mostly watch him in Mission Impossible. That's the only movies that I've really seen him in is Mission Impossible. And so this isn't my favorite Tom Cruise movie. It's not his best work because the plot was weird. It didn't really make sense. But overall, the genre of it was science fiction. I like the science fiction of it. It was very futuristic because it is set in the year 2077, which is a future date. I mean, I think that the idea of the movie is that it's like this war what happened, and then like they basically episode Earth in 2017, which is this year actually, and basically it's the future. So we have like all this technology, technologically advanced things, and a lot of really interesting things that I enjoyed, but there's still a lot of story problems that I had faced with. Apparently, I mean, I was confused why there's like time travel or something to cause him to meet another version of himself. No, it's just a clone. There's actually a point in the movie, toward the very end of the movie, where it was a clone of himself, and also clones of his partner, Vika or Victoria, and she's like this beautiful British lady. Well, she is quite stunning. She's just brown hair, and she's a woman. She's very beautiful, Brit, of course, so she has that British accent. And the actress, of course, is British, but like, it was just confusing with the whole, characters that the two female characters in the movie that I didn't really know who they were a whole lot. Like, they didn't really explain the relationship between him and these women. I mean, we learned that the other woman, the dark-haired one, she's actually his wife. Like, somehow, his wife. Actually, a flashback where we see, like, them on the Empire State Building, and he's like proposing to her, and that's what happens. But the British lady that he's with, I think it's just the idea that they're partners. They're not actually in a relationship, or they're not really married. I thought they were married. I guess that's not true. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was okay, I guess. I didn't love it, but it was interesting. That was the fact it was just interesting overall. It's a typical science fiction movie. It felt like a mix between Star Trek, Star Wars, and another Marvel even. Marvel has some science fiction to it, so a little bit of the three of there. It was just like, I don't know. It's obviously post-apocalyptic, so a lot of the a lot of the stuff in the movie is meant to be like, you know, post-war, because it's post-apocalyptic. It doesn't mean it doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, after zombie apocalypse or anything like that. But actually, it does imply that it's a apocalypse of a war, of a decades old war, and they're like on the space station or whatever, and they're mission control. And there's a southern gal, um, Sally or whatever. She's like the head of mission control, and basically that's what happens is that she's like talking to Victoria, and that was the whole idea of it. And I think the only thing I really liked about this movie was Victoria. I will not lie. I think that she was a very beautiful woman, and I think it was, you know, just the way she treated Jack Harper was very interesting. I mean, the fact was also the fact that, like, I thought that she was, you know, the actual wife of Jack, but apparently not. And it was, yeah, I didn't, I thought it was different, but apparently she just happens to be the partner. I mean, I didn't even know that. I thought that she was the wife. I thought she was a wife, because there are several very romantic scenes later in the movie where we actually see him and her, you know, in a romantic tension. There's like this cool. There's just that a lot of you know, futuristic things in the movie that I liked about it was the house that we're in. There, it was very much a futuristic house. It was a lot of technology. There was a pool that was like deep, and it was very different. It was a very different, like, not a typical pool you see anymore at all. At all. It's a very different kind of pool. And I mean, by that I mean it was just designed differently, not like designed as if it was supposed to be in the future. Like everything is supposed to be in the future. I mean, it's 27/7, of course it's gonna be like that. But like, you know, it's all this futuristic stuff. You got drones. You got these space stations. It's a typical science fiction movie, but there's more to it than that. I don't know. It's hard to explain really. I tried to do a review about this movie, but I don't really understand what was going on. But like, I mean, I understood it. I got the gist of everything. I like Jack Harper. He was interesting. You know, the whole narrative of the movie was about him. You know, discovering that there's this woman that he doesn't know that was like, I think, in cryo sleep or something like that for like 60 years, something like that, and she wakes and things are going crazy. Like, she missed, apparently, the entire time that she was sleeping, the war was going on, and like the apocalypse or something like that. I also like the fact when Jack gets like knocked out or whatever, like I think it's trapped on the Earth that he's on or whatever he is, and we meet Morgan Freeman's character. I knew he was in the movie because I was in the posters and I just knew it. I never saw the movie, of course, but like until of course now I didn't really get a chance to see the movie in theaters. But like Morgan Freeman, and he's just, I don't know. It's one of those movies where I watch it and I just like, I finish watching it, it's like, okay, what just happened? I don't really understand it, but yeah, no, I thought it was interesting. I'm not trying to summarize the plot. That's not the point of a review. A review isn't to summarize the plot. I think a review is to get the point of the plot that I found interesting. I think the only thing I liked about the movie was Victoria. She was like this beautiful woman who is just, the way she looks, the way she dresses, the way she talked to Jack, her accent, everything. She's like this. I think she's honestly the best part of the movie was Victoria. She's this mysterious woman who we don't even know who she is. We don't really know if she's married to him or not. I feel like it's implied that she is, but apparently it's like later say that she's not. I thought she was. I thought she was actually married to Jack, but she's not. That's actually Julia, who's this other woman that Jack finds, and you know, it turns out that she's actually his wife later on, and that was weird. But yeah, I liked it. It was interesting. It was some fun. It was a fun movie. I don't know. Like, there's not much all I can say about the movie besides it was interesting, and it had a lot of futuristic stuff. It was very much a movie with all technology. Think Tron, like, which is a movie I do plan to review that movie, both of them actually. But think Tron, like that kind of technology. You have a lot of, like, you know, holograms and stuff, and touch screens and all that stuff. I mean, I'm trying to compare it to a movie that I've recently seen that's kind of like that. Well, obviously, you can compare it to Passages, or you can compare it to The Martian, where it's set in the future, but like no, this movie is set in the future, like more to the Star Trek side of things. So there's a lot more Star Trek in the idea, the. I feel like it's like I said before, a mixture between Star Trek and Star Wars. Mainly those two, because there's a lot of space station stuff involved in. I enjoyed it. I thought Tom Cruise did a good job with the character he was playing. Tom Cruise overall is a good actor. I've only seen him in Mission Impossible and a few other movies. Well, I've seen him in a lot of movies, but not. I think it's mainly with Mission Impossible. So this will be one of the first that I've seen. But yeah, it was fine. Nothing I can say about it. I just found it. I found it interesting. I can't really explain the plot, of course. That's not the point of a review. But I will say I like the visuals. I like the music. I thought it was very good. I like the technology. I like the characters. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting how they. Well, I thought it was a time jump. Like I thought it was some kind of like time jump where he goes back in time and he finds, because there's definitely a point in the movie where we see the same exact character, Jack Harper, in the same exact position, and I thought it was like, oh, somehow he teleported, he went back in time, and that's not actually the case. He actually just found a clone of himself, because there's actually a point in the movie where we see, I think I've explained this before, we see a bunch of clones of Jack and Victoria, which is very interesting, and that's like the weird thing about the movie was that exact thing, and I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was something I didn't really think about, like that it was time travel. It was just simply their clones, and we see like it was weird because with the whole time travel thing, it feels like it's time travel, but apparently it's not. Like that's until you actually see that scene. You actually get to that scene, you don't realize it's not time travel, because you see when he comes back up to the sky house, I call it that, and we see him discover Victoria again, but like it's post him getting damaged or whatever, and before he and her stopped being partners. It was just weird. It was very sweet, but it was also weird. But the main things about Victoria that I enjoyed was the fact that she's this beautiful woman. She's attractive. She's really beautiful. That was the one thing I was just like, my mind was focused on, was like, oh my god, she's this beautiful British lady, and like she's doing this amazing stuff where she's swimming, and she's just the look in her eye, because she has these amazing eyes, and it's captivating. It really is. Not much I can say about the movie. I mean, I just saw it, and it's like one of those movies where I've seen it, but I can't really explain about it, really. Like, we need to watch it a second time to actually understand the whole plot about it. But being as it is, I don't really want to do that again. But having seen it once, coming back from it, I can't really explain it, really. It's hard to explain. It's like one of those movies where you see it, and then it's like, okay, what do they do? It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was good. Plot could do some work. Didn't really make sense. I didn't really, until you see those final scenes, it's like, what's going on? Anyway, I think that's all I can say about Oblivion. It is not related to the Elder Scrolls game. It was just, I think it's a coincidence that they just named it that. But anyway, that does it for this review of Oblivion. Tom Cruise is an excellent actor. I can't wait to see him in the next Mission Impossible movie coming out next year. And I like the costume design. Did I mention that? I think the costumes are actually really good, and it's just. I think that the where it gets really confusing is, I think the middle and the end of it. The very end of it are just like, what is going on? Is it like a flashback or something? Is it like some kind of memory thing? I don't even know. Anyway, and as for the movie, I'm gonna give it rating wise. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, simply because I didn't really know what was happening. I didn't get the story. One of those movies where I don't really understand it. Most of it I do, but it just like, if I buy me like that, I don't really get it. But yeah, 6 out of 10, because most of it I enjoyed, I just didn't really get it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Reviewed. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. I really do appreciate the support. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe for more episodes of this series and the other series I do, as well as other great content. And I'll be back next time with another episode. Alright? See ya.